Hey guys, Angus, and today I'm going to give you a full review of the Cubot Note S. Now this was actually provided by Oxford Street to test and also provide an honest review. So I actually already have done a full unboxing of this smartphone, which of course you can check out in the link description. And even the battery is actually quite nicely designed. I mean, yeah, I'm liking this. Liking this a lot. Right, that was quick. Very, very quick. I mean, there was no Android setup. I mean, I'm kind of confused because usually it takes you through the Android setup, but this hasn't. So just taking a look at it, it's actually really, really nice. Now, it's got a gorgeous display, and I have to say, hats off to Cubot for making quite an impressive design for £65. This is a 5.5-inch Android smartphone with Android 5.5, which I originally thought was running Android Marshmallow, but it isn't. But still, it's running a very recent version of Android. So as you can see from the display, the colours are really vibrant and they really, really stand out. I just really cannot understand how Cubot have actually managed to pull off this for such little money. This truly might be the best Android smartphone under £100. Now of course we've got all the standard apps provided by Google, including Gmail and Gmaps, and actually they all work really, really smoothly. After using the Cubot Note S for at least a month now, I have to say I haven't really had any performance issues whatsoever, and that's including display as well. So now let's actually take a look at the camera. Now the main camera is 5 megapixels and the front facing camera is 2 megapixels. Now for a phone for this price, that is really understandable and is actually quite impressive. Now of course if we were to compare this with say a smartphone that had more megapixels, say the Lego Elite 5, it would trump it. And of course I will show that as well. The only thing I'll have to say about video quality, even though it is such a low budget phone, is that it incredibly oversaturates all of the colours. That is disappointing, but I have to say that is what you pay for. And actually it's definitely usable in sunlight. Battery life is also really impressive, with a huge battery of 4,150 milliamps, which is absolutely enormous and probably might be the biggest battery I've ever heard of in a smartphone that's 5.5 inches. As you can see, the display is actually really impressive and you definitely won't be disappointed. I really just do not understand how they've actually managed to integrate such an impressive display in such a low budget phone. It really is gorgeous, and it's also massive as well. Of course, even though it is a really big and clear display, it actually isn't a significantly thick phone at all. Now, Cubot do actually provide a rubber case, which is quite nice, and even when you take that off, it is still quite thin. So, I'd have to say, this phone would be a really great backup phone. I'm not going to lie, if you're looking for a good Android smartphone, I'm definitely not going to say this is for you. But if you really are on a tight budget, then I don't think you can actually beat this. Now, let's say we were to compare this with the Lego Elite 5, I would definitely say that this stands up to it really, really well. Video quality is average, and photo quality is quite poor, but for the money, you just can't complain. Now let's actually take a look at the design. Of course we've got 3 buttons on the front, and on the side we've got 2 buttons, which is the sleep wake button and the volume rocker, and then on the top we've got 2 ports, which one is the micro USB port and also the headphone port as well. On the back of course we've got the camera lens and also a very, very small LED flash. Now as you can tell, it's got a gold bezel, which I do kind of like, but it does get off this cheap feel. On the bottom we've got absolutely nothing, and that same goes for the left side as well. And on the front we've got the cameras, and also we've got the voice call microphone and also the LED as well. What's also really great about this phone is that it's also expandable, so you can actually remove the back. Firstly, you can take out the battery, which is awesome because it's got a removable battery, and also you can put in 2 SIM card slots if you want to, and even better, you can even upgrade the storage. Now, I'm not entirely sure how big the storage can be upgraded to, but I think it's a really nice addition for such a low budget phone that you can upgrade the storage. Now, standard storage on this is actually 32 gigabytes, so I don't think that would be entirely necessary, but I think it's a really nice addition to have. As you can see, a really nice little trick would be is actually if you were to take off the back and use the rubber case as well to give that nice cool effect. Of course, that would be really good as well because it would reduce overheating. Now, even though that you could do that, I've never really had any problems with overheating, but then again, I haven't thoroughly tested it in terms of gaming or CPU performance. Of course, if you are thinking about buying this phone for the camera, I personally wouldn't, because for £30 more you can get the Lego Elite 5, which is a much better camera and also which is also a better Android phone overall. But for £65, I think this would be honestly the best backup phone that you could possibly buy. Of course, for those that are on a tight budget, then you won't be able to find a better Android phone on the market. Cubot have done an incredibly amazing job with this, and I have been immensely impressed with this phone. Anyway, there is my full review of the Cubot Note S. Of course, if you did enjoy this review, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, but apart from that, thank you very much for watching.